Hello, welcome back. It's day, I think, 209 of a screenwriter's journey. I say I think because I've got my files messed up and it says 211, but I'm pretty sure it's 209. Just texting with a friend who has a son who built this cool house, and I've been taking drone shots of it for a little over a year during its construction and then when it got finished. And it's a long story, but it's pretty cool. We are on page 86. Okay, so the gunshot. Oh, you heard that ding? That was my friend replying to a text, but I'm going to ignore it because I've got him. Oh, two texts. If he does one more, I won't be able to ignore it. So Howie is worried about Lexi being shot. Hogan gets there first, comes in and sees Jake, and then Hogan yells, "Holly, get in here." I kind of that's one of those lines that I need to remove if this whole sequence stays in there, because as they say, each line has to reveal character, advance the story, set up conflict or whatever. And I think I'm pretty good about that. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. Apparently there's 3 more deer. He's a big hunter and he's got a bunch of deer in the backyard. They saw some deer being born. Oh, he sent me a video of it. I'll have to watch it later. Wow, you're getting an inside glimpse into my exciting life. So, but that line about how I get in here, that's not good. So now Jake is explaining what they did. It didn't go according to plan. Jake doesn't know where they're going. So they got to get to the airport. Now this is again, it's kind of virgin-ish writing, as I recall. I don't think I've gone this far, at least with this new sequence or plot or whatever. So what I was thinking, Jake could get killed. Well, he could die. Or maybe I have gone through here because I remember talking about the idea that Luke is going to take Jake's clothes and then pretend to be him, and somehow, if and when they find Rachel and Lexi, but Rachel primarily, they're going to freak her out when she sees that he is alive and well, even though he's got these clothes on that are all bloody. So that was one thought. And then the darn old research, I think, well, partially research and partially just, I didn't really like it that much maybe, but I think at some point I start researching gun wounds or, gunshot wounds. And when you get hit in the stomach, it's generally doesn't end well. So that's the deal. So, I've got to decide what I'll have to, what I'm going to do about that. Because I just don't know. I just don't know what to do. And then, depending on where he gets shot, then how much can he really talk? How much would he talk? Would he kind of save his strength? The whole people getting shot thing kind of gets to me because I guess, one, it happens a lot in movies, TV shows, and all different kinds of things happen, from the realistic to, the dying scene where the guy coughs up blood or, a few final words and gives some exposition and then dies, or, confesses or whatever, if it's a bad guy or something. So I'm trying to think of movies. Well, no, I have. The Key ended with someone getting shot in the stomach, and I won't give it away, but wow, I just, having remembered that, I probably don't want this to end that same way, or even someone getting shot. Although, if this ever gets made, it's not like people are gonna say, "Oh my gosh, Jack made that other movie and someone got shot." So it's kind of a. All right, let's move on. So then Ace and Clyde and the others sort of get into it. What am I doing here? Just look at all that dialogue as I scroll through those pages. All right, so did I'm trying to see what I just changed. When you do it that 5 times speed, it's really hard sometimes to catch up. You try to cook the skin. It's the other way around. So then, this is exposition unless Holly's lying to him. But why would she? Too busy trying to do the right thing, giving her the benefit of the doubt. Sorry, that was disgusting. Holly's line is horrible. And then it's always, not that people don't do it all the time in real life, but when someone answers a question and then asks a question in the same breath, I guess it's not totally unusual, but if I hadn't been so consumed, I'm glad I thought getting them. Look at all these attempts I'm trying to make. And then the whole thing where someone starts and, someone else finishes. That can work sometimes. I thought if I got them back together in prison was, she'd go with you coming back to you. See, there is this whole underlying thing that Holly is worried, afraid, not super confident that and not that she's raised Lexi, but that she's done enough for Lexi to be the strong, independent woman, which Holly has that conversation with Katina very early on about the whole thing. And so so she's got this insecurity kind of in the same way that Lexi does, which is kind of interesting. And I must admit, I hadn't completely thought about that before, but that kind of is, in that way, that's kind of similar, which is a kind of interesting thing. Holly has to trust that she's done well enough, and Lexi has to trust, really, in the same way that now she, because of Holly's influence, again, not being a parent, but sort of being that role model and that shoulder to cry on or lean on, has done enough to, assure that Lexi, when the time comes, will make the right decisions. And Holly has to let her go, so to speak, which is kind of the theme of this-ish. Certainly, look at all this dialogue. It's driving me crazy. It's like 1 page plus. I almost never write a whole page of dialogue with no breaks like I just wrote there. But again, I'm shrinking it down, of course, but we're on page 87, 88, and this should be halfway through the 3rd act, and it doesn't really feel like it. So now Holly has the line, Jake, would you mind changing clothes with your brother? So before Jake had that idea, and now Holly does, and I mainly did that to give Holly kind of the protagonist. She is proactively thinking of something. Get it? Protagonist, proactively, I guess. But antagonist is, anyways, proactive, reactive. I guess that doesn't work. So now we see Luke and Abby coming. They've got the car. Abby went in and asked someone if she could borrow a car, what are the odds of her really? I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you're on vacation, you're camping, you're enjoying your family time, and some young lady, 20-year-old girl comes running in and yells, "Hey, I need to borrow someone's car." And the next scene, there she is driving around in the car. So that is all to say that sometimes you get these ideas because you have to have something in a script. It's either you've got to move it ahead and you've kind of painted yourself into a corner. So basically, in this case, I came up with something, and is that something realistic? I'm sure, worse things have been written in scripts, and man, I just watched the fourth